In a world where leadership often equates to power and dominance, there's a different path that calls us to something greater. It's a path illuminated by faith, guided by the teachings of Jesus Christ, and rooted in the transformative power of servant leadership. Today we're exploring how Christian values can shape effective leadership, creating a ripple effect of positive change in our workplaces and beyond. Imagine a leader who puts others first, who leads with humility and compassion, and who sees their role not as a position of authority, but as an opportunity to serve. This is the essence of servant leadership, a concept that Jesus himself modeled throughout his ministry. He didn't come to be served, but to serve, and in doing so, he showed us the true meaning of leadership. In the corporate world, where success is often measured by profits and power, this approach might seem counterintuitive. But when we look closer, we see that leading with faith offers a powerful alternative, one that builds trust, fosters respect, and cultivates collaboration. It's a leadership style that doesn't just achieve results, but transforms lives and organizations from the inside out. Let's dive deeper into the first key principle of servant leadership: prioritizing others before oneself. This isn't about being a doormat or neglecting your own needs. It's about recognizing that true leadership is found in lifting others up, in nurturing their potential, and in creating an environment where everyone can thrive. Jesus exemplified this throughout his life. He washed his disciples' feet, a task usually reserved for the lowest servants. He spent time with those society rejected, showing that every person has inherent worth and dignity. He gave his life for others, the ultimate act of selflessness. When we lead like Jesus, we shift our focus from what can I gain to how can I serve. This radical reorientation changes everything. In practical terms, this might look like actively listening to your team members, seeking to understand their challenges and aspirations. It could mean rolling up your sleeves and pitching in when the workload is heavy, showing that no task is beneath you. It's about creating opportunities for growth and development, even if it means stepping back to let others shine. The second pillar of Christian leadership is humility. In a world that often equates confidence with competence, humility can be misunderstood as weakness. But true humility is a strength. It's the ability to recognize our own limitations, to value the contributions of others, and to create space for diverse voices and perspectives. Humility in leadership means admitting when we don't have all the answers. It's about being open to feedback and willing to learn from anyone, regardless of their position. When leaders embrace humility, they create an environment where people feel safe to share ideas, take risks, and grow. This fosters innovation, creativity, and a sense of shared ownership in the organization's success. The Apostle Paul captured this beautifully when he wrote, "Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility value others above yourselves, not looking to your own interests, but each of you to the interests of the others." This is the heart of humble leadership, seeing the inherent worth in every team member and creating a culture where everyone feels valued and empowered. The third key aspect of leading with faith is compassion. In a business world often characterized by cutthroat competition and bottom-line thinking, compassion might seem out of place. But when leaders lead with genuine care and concern for their team members, it creates a culture of trust where people can truly flourish. Compassionate leadership means seeing your team members as whole people, not just employees. It's about understanding that they have lives outside of work, with joys and struggles that impact their performance. When leaders show empathy and support during challenging times, it builds loyalty and motivation that far surpasses what any bonus or promotion could achieve. Jesus consistently demonstrated compassion even in the face of criticism or personal cost. He saw the individual behind the label, the potential behind the problem. When we lead with this kind of compassion, we create workplaces where people feel seen, heard, and cared for. This, in turn, inspires them to bring their best selves to work, to go above and beyond, not out of obligation, but out of a genuine desire to contribute to something meaningful. Leading with faith isn't always easy. It often requires us to go against the grain, to choose the harder path of service over self-interest. But the impact of this kind of leadership is profound and far-reaching. It creates organizations that are not just profitable, but purposeful. It develops teams that are not just productive, but passionate. And it shapes leaders who are not just successful, but significant. As we embrace these principles of servant leadership, humility, and compassion, we become part of a larger story, one of transformation and hope. We become channels through which God's love and grace can flow into our workplaces and communities. We become living examples of what it means to lead like Jesus. So I challenge you today. How can you incorporate these principles into your leadership style? How can you serve those you lead? How can you cultivate humility and show compassion in your daily interactions? The journey of faith-based leadership is ongoing, filled with opportunities for growth and impact. Remember, every small act of service, every moment of humble listening, every gesture of compassion ripples outward, creating waves of positive change. You have the power to shape not just your team or organization, but to influence the very culture of leadership in your sphere of influence. As you step into this calling of leading with faith, know that you're not alone. You're part of a long line of leaders who have chosen to follow in the footsteps of Jesus, who have dared to lead differently. And in doing so, you're not just building a successful career or organization, you're participating in God's work of renewal and restoration in the world. So go forth with courage and conviction. Lead with faith, serve with humility, and love with compassion. In doing so, you'll not only become a more effective leader, but you'll also inspire others to do the same. And together, we can create workplaces and communities that reflect the kingdom values of justice, mercy, and love. May your leadership be a light in the darkness, a source of hope and inspiration to all those you encounter. And may you find deep fulfillment and joy as you align your leadership with your faith, making a lasting impact that extends far beyond the bottom line. The world needs leaders like you, those who dare to lead with faith, changing lives and organizations one selfless act at a time.